welcome to Meet the Candidates for the November 8th general election. I'm your host, Dan York. On today's program, candidates for the offices of the 13th District of Congress and the 11th District of the State House, both the full and partial term, have been invited to appear. Each candidate who accepted our invitation to appear on the program was given 5 minutes to present his or her platform. Along with candidates for Congress and the State House, offices and ballot proposals that appear on the November 8th ballot include President and Vice President of the United States, 13th District of Congress, 11th District of the State House, both two-year term and partial term that ends January 1st, 2017, members of the State Board of Education, regents of the University of Michigan, trustees of the Michigan State University, and governors of Wayne State University. At the county level, county prosecuting attorney, county sheriff, county clerk, county treasurer, county register of deeds, and county commissioner. County commissioner is an office we would normally have invited to appear on this program, but Glenn Anderson is running unopposed. On the nonpartisan part of the ballot, justices of the Supreme Court, justices of the Appeals Court First District, judges of the Third Circuit Court. Also on the ballot are trustees of Schoolcraft College and the Garden City School Board. Proposals include a proposal authorizing the Regional Transit Authority of Southeast Michigan and a regional enhancement millage proposal for the Wayne County Intermediate Schools. There are two Garden City only proposals on this year's ballot. They include proposal number 1, a proposed charter amendment to change the term of mayor from 2 years to 4, effective with the 2017 election, and proposal 2, a proposed charter amendment to change the term of all elected council people from 2 years to 4 years. Currently, only the top two finishers receive 4-year terms. This change would take place beginning in 2019. The candidates that will appear on today's Meet the Candidates include, for the 13th District of Congress, Republican Jeff Gorman, Democrat John Conyers, and Libertarian Tiffany Hayden did not respond to our invitation to appear on the program. Representatives for Sam Johnson, candidate for the Working Class Party, accepted our invitation to appear on the program but did not show up for their recording. For the state legislature's 11th district, there are two elections. The normal 2-year election, Republican Robert Pope and Democrat Jewel Jones did not respond to our invitation to appear on the program. For the term ending January 1st, 2017, to replace the late Julie Plawecki, who passed away just before the primary, Democrat Lauren Plawecki and U.S. taxpayer candidate Mark Joseph Sosnovske accepted our invitation to appear on the program. Robert Pope did not respond to our invitation to appear. Now, this program can be seen several times before the election on GCTV, Channel 12 on Comcast, Channel 18 on WOW, and Channel 99 on UVerse. October 21st through the 23rd, 28th through the 30th, and November 4th through the 6th at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 7 p.m., and 11 p.m., and November 1st through the 3rd after the City Council replay. Meet the candidates for the November 8th general election can also be seen on the GCTV YouTube channel or on Ustream. For links and details, go to www.gardencitymi.org. And don't forget, a complete ballot can be seen also on the city's website at www.gardencitymi.org. Now let's begin our program with one of the candidates for the 13th District of Congress, Mr. Jeff Gorman.
Our government has no power except that granted it by the people. It's time to check and reverse the growth of government, which shows signs of having grown beyond the consent of the governed. It is my intention to curb the size and influence of the federal establishment and to demand recognition of the distinction between the powers granted to the federal government and those reserved to the states or to the people. All of us need to be reminded that the federal government did not create the states. The states created the federal government. It's from Ronald Reagan's inaugural address, January 20th, 1981. Fellow Garden City residents and viewers of GCTV, my, how things have not changed in 35 years and probably actually gotten worse. My name is Jeff Gorman, a resident of Garden City, a graduate of Garden City East High School, the U.S. Naval Academy, and the University of Cincinnati, a retired naval officer and naval aviator with 24 years of service to our country, and a retired commercial airline pilot who served the last 2 years of his 20-year career as an armed pilot to personally protect my passengers and crew. I am interviewing with you for the job as your congressman in the U.S. House of Representatives in Washington, D.C., as your voice and the voice of the entire 13th Congressional District. Since the last video, I have been talking to you, the citizens of this district, while campaigning door to door or at Talking Tuesdays conducted alternately at the Toast Restaurant in Garden City or Marco's Cozy Diner in Redford. I have heard your disgust and frustration with politicians, government at all levels, and almost everything political. You're tired of the taxes you pay, the disservice you receive, and the intrusion of government rules and regulations in almost every part of your life. You're concerned about the lack of national security, financial stability, and civil tranquility. Sounds like you have reached the point where you're ready to take back control of the government and, by stopping its overreach, your lives. President Reagan's words probably strike a very familiar chord. The challenge for us, the 700,000 residents of this district, is how do we change the government? Well, the solution is to exercise the power of our vote. And we have to exercise it wisely by doing the homework to make sure that those we put in office are people who will truly represent us and serve us in our desire and commitment to returning security and stability to our country. Know, above all, it's not going to happen by putting the same people back in office. Regarding our present congressman, he receives 70% of his individual and 95% of his political action committee financial support from out of state, according to Federal Elections Commission filings. Someone so overwhelmingly beholden to interests outside of Michigan is definitely not serving our best interest. Further, his voting record, according to ontheissues.org, does not show him to be someone who works well with both sides of the aisle. Rather, he votes consistently in favor of the extreme legislation that creates the government intrusion we are currently experiencing. Maybe that's what led the Detroit News to endorse me in this election. I only pledge my allegiance to God, to the United States, to the state of Michigan, and you, the people of the 13th Congressional District, which includes Garden City. As your representative, our safety and security will be my only and foremost consideration in the performance of the duties of the office. Whether it's drafting legislation, considering the merits of other legislation, or ultimately casting our vote on all legislation, my personal obligation will be to none other than my previously cited allegiances, including, and most importantly, you. And you must vote like our lives, our freedom, and our country depend on it, because they always have and always will. Our future is truly in the hands of the voters, who must do their part to make sure that the federal government only exercise the power it was granted by the Constitution by electing only those committed to making it so. The solution is in the Constitution if we want to reestablish our security and stability. My name is Jeff Gorman, and I humbly ask you to send me to Washington, D.C. as your 13th Congressional District voice in the U.S. House of Representatives. For more information, my website is jeffgormanforuscongress.com. Again, that is jeffgormanforuscongress.com. God bless you, and God bless this great nation, the United States of America.
Hello, and thank you to Garden City TV for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Lauren Plawecki, and I'm running to fill the 11th District State Representative seat for the remainder of 2016. For those who don't know, this special election was called to fill the seat of Representative Julie Plawecki, my mother, who passed away suddenly in June. My mother was an incredible woman, a true champion of our district, a voice for children, for seniors, for veterans, for working families. She was a beloved member of the Michigan legislature, of our community, and of my family. It would be the honor of a lifetime to continue her fight to make our district the best it can be. From a young age, my parents instilled in me the importance of public service and of using the skills and opportunities I've been given to help others. This same lesson was taught at Divine Child Elementary and High School, where I spent my formative years. Last December, I graduated with highest honors from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, with a bachelor's degree in art history. Over the last 4 years, I have taught art to many diverse communities, including incarcerated men and women, the visually impaired, and disadvantaged children. This background in the humanities and education has broadened my mind, taught me to accept different perspectives, and helped me understand the importance of diversity. I am not a career politician. Similarly, my mother's success as a legislator was due to her approaching the job not as a political position, but as an act of public service. As I was growing up, her guidance taught me the true meaning of service, to listen to people, to learn from them, and to do whatever I can to help them. If elected on November 8th, I will work hard to put forth legislation that would directly benefit the people of the 11th District. I am passionate about providing opportunities for all children to have a quality education, including making higher education more accessible and affordable for all families. I am extremely lucky and grateful for the opportunities I have had to be educated at solid Michigan institutions, and it breaks my heart that so many in our district do not have those same opportunities. People are being priced out of an education, and therefore priced out of hope for a better future. As your representative, I will fight for funding for our schools to make sure that no students are left behind. I will work hard to curb student debt and help young people stay in Michigan after graduating. I am also devoted to carrying on my mother's legacy of representing working families. In fact, the AFL-CIO unanimously voted to endorse her re-election campaign, awarding her a perfect score on its 2015-16 scorecard. I share her view that we must act now to make sure Michigan's middle class not only survives, but remains a strong part of our economy. Before she passed, the most recent legislation my mother was working on was the Michigan Human Right to Water Act. This act would establish that every person in Michigan has the right to safe, clean, affordable, and accessible drinking water. I believe that water is one of our most basic human rights, and if given the opportunity, I will help carry this legislation across the finish line. What made my mother so special was often not what she was working on, but how she led with conviction, sincerity, and grace. I share her dedication to transparency and teamwork, and would maintain the open line of communication between our community and Lansing. I will work tirelessly as your advocate and your voice to turn your thoughts into action. In the face of this tragedy, I am inspired by my community and by my faith to pick up where my mother left off and see that our goals are realized. I am encouraged that so many have already embraced me as part of the legislative family. I am honored to have the support of the leading members in the House Democratic Caucus, the Michigan Education Association, and members of the Michigan Progressive Women's Caucus. While no one can completely fill the void Julie Plawecki has left at the Capitol and in our hearts, the lessons she taught me about integrity, compassion, and service to others have left me uniquely positioned to carry on her legacy in the Michigan House of Representatives. The best way I could possibly honor her is to walk in her footsteps at the Capitol in service of the community we love. I ask that you give me that opportunity. Thank you.
Well, hello there. I'm Mark Joseph Sosnovske, candidate for 2 positions on your ballot if you live in the 11th State House District. As you know, perhaps you do know that our state representative, Ms. Plawecki, passed away, and someone is being selected here in this general election to complete the rest of her term. And if you might recall, she was a rare bird as a pro-life Democrat. That's what I am also, a pro-life minor party candidate. In the field of bioethics, I've been involved for 30-some years, and I'd like to continue that work in Lansing to fulfill her legacy there too. But more importantly, I'm also a candidate from the U.S. Taxpayer Party for the position of a Wayne State Board of Governors. Now, U.S. Taxpayers Party is the state affiliate of the National Constitution Party, and the Constitution Party simply wants the government to follow the Constitution. Now, I'm campaigning for the Wayne State Board of Governors on 3 basic issues. First, There is the issue of the inhumane treatment of research animals at the Wayne State University labs, particularly in the treatment of dogs, which are likely somebody's lost family pet. These dogs are tested to the point of exhaustion until they're put down, and it's very a torturous situation. And the research they gather has been shown to not be beneficial to medical treatment in humans. So let's put an end to that. Secondly, there's the issue of the curriculum of the Common Core in Michigan. I would like to see the cessation of the Common Core, particularly as it reaches what's called the International Baccalaureate degree. This is a tool of the United Nations Agenda 21 to diminish U.S. sovereignty. And I hope you join me in that cause as well. Third, I'd like you to take a close look at how I propose to promote the pursuit of objective truth. Rather than relativism, where if you take a close look at the Wayne State University's mission statement, it says that we will create knowledge. And I'd like you to ponder that for a moment. And then ask yourself whether truth, knowledge, is self-evident, as founding fathers have stated, or if another entity can define it, and if it is subject to redefinition, well, we're that much closer to the day when our God-given rights will be taken away. So, I look forward to your support. Appreciate that. Thanks again, Mark Joseph Sosnovske for Wayne State Board of Governors and for your state rep.
Thanks for watching Meet the Candidates, and thanks to our candidates for appearing on the program. Now, don't forget this program can be seen several times before the election on GCTV, Channel 12 on Comcast, Channel 18 on WOW, and Channel 99 on UVerse, October 21st through the 23rd, the 28th through the 30th, and November 4th through the 6th at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 7 p.m., and 11 p.m., and November 1st through the 3rd after the replay of the Garden City City Council meeting. Meet the candidates for the November 8th general election can also be seen on the GCTV YouTube channel or on Ustream. For links and details, go to gardencitymi.org. Also, don't forget a complete ballot can be found on the city's website at www.gardencitymi.org. Again, thank you very much for watching, and make sure that you vote on November 8th. Good night, everyone.